Hola, hola, buenos días. This is video lesson 30. And here we're going to start a unit, okay? This is unit number 3, número 3. Um, and I wanted to show you really quick something before we get started on the lesson. Um, so here, these are some of the things we're going to be covering in unit 3. So unit 3 will cover from lessons 30 to 42. So in the way that you have it in your workbooks, you don't see the lesson numbers. I noticed that. I think Nick brought it up during one of our first classes that you guys don't have it by lesson, but by sections. And so it could be a little confusing, but that's why I always include the page numbers so that you guys know what lesson I'm talking about. So what pages are you going to be working on for that specific lesson? So you have on your, let me show you this really quick. On your grade logs, you have the sections there, the units. So you have unit 1 was that one from lessons 1 through 14. And then unit 2 was lessons 15 through 29. And now unit 3, which is the unit we're going to start today, will cover lessons 30 to 42. Again, and since you don't have the lesson numbers in your workbook, those are pages, what did I say? Pages 74 to 117. Okay, so those are the pages we're going to be covering for unit 3. Okay, so this lesson will be lesson number 30, and for 30 we're going to be working on pages 74, 75, and so from 74 through 79, okay? And I will put that on the video description, okay? Lesson 30, pages 74 to 79, so that you guys have it there. But these are some of the things we're gonna be covering. So the main thing on this unit is gonna be verbs. We're gonna start conjugating verbs, okay? We cover some of these in a very simple way when in our intro to Spanish class last year, but we're gonna be going into a little bit deeper, okay, during this class. So you have a new Bible verse for this unit, and this is Juan 3, del 16 al 17. And guys, these are some easy points that you are missing, okay? In the past two tests, you guys haven't been able to complete the Bible verse. And so I wanted to tell you that again, so I'm not including them in the test. I decided not to include them in the test, but if you guys do it, those are extra points you can earn for your test, okay? So you always need those extra points, right? So if you do that, if you memorize the Bible verse, you are going to be able to have that option of having extra points on your tests. So give it a try. Um, it shouldn't be that hard, okay? Especially because we spent several lessons on them. So if you do take the time, you should be able to know at least most of it. And we're doing filling in the blanks, so you don't even have to know it all, but most of it at least. Okay, so this one says, I'm gonna read it one time for you to know how to pronounce each words. If you need help with that, you can always come back here to lesson 30 to hear me read this verse, okay? It says, porque de tal manera amó Dios al mundo que ha dado a su Hijo unigénito para que todo aquel que en él cree no se pierda, mas tenga vida eterna. Porque no envió Dios a su Hijo al mundo para condenar al mundo, sino para que el mundo sea salvo por él. Okay, you have the translation next to it. So this is a Bible verse for Unit 3, okay? So here we're also going to start on a new vocabulary list. We have, this is vocabulary list 3, okay? So we have 3A and 3B, 3A y 3B. again, for the vocabulary words, you are going to have quizzes, okay, for every vocabulary list. So make sure you memorize them. If you know them, if you memorize them, you should do well on those quizzes. And I cannot do that work for you, okay? As I told you today, I try to help you as much as I can, but you have to do your part. And that means memorizing it and spending some time learning the vocabulary words, okay? So let's see over here. I will go over them. Alcanzar. So let's do this again. I'm only gonna read 3A, 3A. Okay, this is on page 75. So you can maybe go to page 75, 75 on your workbook, and I'm gonna read it one time and you repeat after me, okay? Alcanzar, caminar, cenar, copiar, cortar, desayunar, dibujar, lanzar, lavar, nadar, planchar, pintar, practicar, preparar, trabajar, domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, amable, bonito, difícil, fácil, hermoso, listo, nuevo, útil. Okay, so those are vocabulary words from list 3A, 3A, okay? We're gonna be emphasizing on this lesson vocabulary words 1 through 10, okay? Del 1 al 10. And these are, so repeat after me, we're gonna do this a couple times each, okay? Alcanzar, alcanzar, that is to reach. Caminar, caminar, to walk, okay? Cenar, cenar, you should repeat after me. Copiar, copiar, to copy. Cortar, cortar, to cut. Desayunar, desayunar, to eat breakfast. Dibujar, dibujar, to draw. Lanzar, lanzar, to throw. Lavar, lavar, to wash. Nadar, nadar, to swim. Okay, so those are words 1 through 10, del 1 al 10. Make sure you, and that's probably gonna be your homework to write those 10 words 4 times each. So start memorizing these first 10 words, okay? Now, for the lesson part, we're going to be learning, as I told you, we're going to start learning conjugations of verbs, okay? And the first type, if you notice on your vocabulary list, 3A, all of those verbs there end in AR, okay? And those are the ones we're gonna be learning first, how we conjugate those verbs that end in AR, okay? So let me find here the teaching aid. Okay. Okay. So, or maybe I should just do it from here. I'm trying to decide. Okay, let's just do it from here. So in here, you have on your, so I'm on page 77, okay, on your workbook. It says that an infinitive is the impersonal form of a verb, okay? Meaning it has not been associated with a specific person or conjugated yet. Okay, so it's like when you to swim, that will be the infinitive form of a verb. Okay, and in Spanish will be that one in specific to swim will be nadar. Okay, so it will be that it's just that verb before it has been conjugated. Okay, and by conjugation we mean assigning it to a subject. Okay, so in English, it says to think, to walk, etc. will be infinitive, the infinitive form of a verb. And now in Spanish, the infinitive forms end in AR, ER, OR, and IR. Okay? You have that here. Maybe it's a good idea that I show you this. So yeah, these are the endings in Spanish: AR, ER, OR, IR. Right now, again, we're going to be focusing on AR verbs, verbs that end in those two letters, A and R, okay? So for the first person, so and this is why it is so important, you guys, most of you missed the pronouns part of the last test. Review those, okay? These are the pronouns in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella. Usted means tú in a formal way, but when you conjugate it's gonna have the same ending as él or ella, and the same with it. It is also has that same conjugation of the third person, okay? So that's why you see here that usted, they said second person, because again, it's tú, it means tú, you, but it's just in a formal setting that we use it. And then we have nosotros, vosotros. I don't really want to do vosotros because nobody uses this, but we'll see. And then ellos, ellas, y ustedes, okay? So those are the pronouns. You should know what they are and what they mean, okay? Because you're gonna need that to be able to learn how to conjugate the verbs, okay? Because it will depend on the pronoun that we're using, right? The person that we are referring to. Okay, so for verbs that ends in AR, in AR, if you're gonna conjugate it for I, for yo, you have to change that AR ending to O, okay? It will end in O. If it's for tú, which is you, it will have to you switch or change that AR ending to AS. We're gonna see some examples, don't worry. It could be a little confusing at the beginning, but you will get it, okay? And then if it's él, ella, usted, or et, the ending instead of AR, it will go to A. And then if it's nosotros, it will go to amos, okay? And then ellos, it'll go to ellos, ellas, y ustedes, the AR will change to AN, okay? An. Okay, so that's pretty much the rule for AR verbs. And it says here, well, this is what I just said about usted, that is actually a second person, but they place it there as a third person because it will have the same ending as those pronouns. Okay, so here, the example, they show you an example with the verb participar. Participar, it's, let me see, yeah. No, you don't have it in your vocabulary list, but it's another verb that ends in AR, and it means to practice. No, it's there, actually. It's word 13, practicar. No, oh my gosh. Participar, to participate. No, you don't have it. Participar means to participate, okay? And you don't have it there. So, but it ends in AR, okay? So that's all we have to know. So let's give this a try. We learned from the table there that I'm gonna conjugate it for yo, which is I, what do I have to do? I give it a try before I say it. So I change the AR to O, correct? So that will be then participar. Oh my gosh, participo. What am I saying? Participo. I'm sorry. Yo participo, okay? Now for two, we get rid of the AR and we add, according to our table, we add AS at the end. So it'll be participas, okay? Participas. Tú participas. Now for él, ella, or usted, we know that we get rid of the AR and we just add an A at the end. Okay, for él, ella, and usted. So that one will be participa. Él participa, ella participa, usted participa. Okay, now for nosotros. Okay, it's according to our table, we have to finish in amos. So we get rid of the AR in participar and we switch it to amos. So now we have nosotros participamos or nosotras participamos. Okay. Now for vosotras, it's here. So according to the table, changes to AIS and it's participáis. Vosotros, vosotras participáis. Now, ellos, ellas, y ustedes, we know that we have to change it to AN. So we get rid of the AR and we change it to AN. So now it goes to participan, okay? Participan, ellos participan, ellas participan, ustedes participan. It is a good idea that you guys open your notebooks, okay, and write this down, because as you write it down, like you can make more sense of it and start understanding, okay? So maybe just write notes for lesson 30 and then start writing this table, and then however you understand it better, but just write these rules for conjugation of the verbs that end in AR, and also write the example participar. So do conjugate participar for yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, ellos, ellas, y ustedes, okay? Now, what do we use? It says here that the present indicative tense, because this is in present tense, is used to show the following. We either change a present action, and this is an example of a present action, something that is happening in the moment. Ella limpia su salón de clase. What does it say there? Ella, she, limpia, cleans, and notice there the ending. Okay, so the infinitive form is limpiar. You get rid of the AR and add the A because it's for ella. Ella limpia su salón de clase. Okay, she cleans her classroom. We also use it to indicate frequency. So how often we do something, right? So this is the example. Yo participo, I participate todos los días. Notice the O for participo because the pronoun is yo. And we also use it to express general facts. Okay, los perros ladran. Dogs bark. So notice there, perros, right, will be ellos, and then we change the AR because the verb there is ladrar to AN. Okay, ladran. Los perros ladran. Okay, so that's the lesson part of section 3.1 on page 77. Let's do some examples here so that this is what we just talked about. Okay, this is what I just said. Well, let's look at these ones. So these are for another example of present action. Yo lavo los platos. So lavo, you have that word in your vocabulary list. 3A, lavar. lavar means to wash, okay? So yo lavo, notice the conjugation there. Yo lavo ends in O because it's yo. Yo lavo los platos. So this means I wash the dishes, okay? Present action. Frequency, let's see the example. Try to read it. Nosotros cantamos en el coro cada domingo. So the verb there is cantar. Cantar, you had it in your other list, I'm pretty sure. Cantar is to sing. And notice there that is conjugated. So cantar ends in AR. You conjugate it for nosotros. So you add the amos. Nosotros cantamos en el coro cada domingo. In the chorus, each Sunday. That's the frequency, okay? General facts. Los franceses hablan francés, okay? The French speak French. That's what it says here. Okay, so the verb there is hablar, to speak, but they are conjugated for they, los franceses, ellos. So you change the AR to AN, and now it's hablan, okay? Los franceses hablan francés. Now, let's practice conjugating the verbs. So we have here cantar. Now, I want you to conjugate that verb for yo. Please, if you have find your notebook and write this down, okay? It will help you practice and you will need it. So cantar, for yo, what do? Ends in AR. So you have to get rid of the AR and change it to O. So it is yo canto. The next one, participar. That is a vocabulary word. No, it's practicar. That's why I keep saying that you have it. It's practicar, the one you have. Participar is the one we just did. So for ustedes, what does the table say? The table say that we have to get rid of the AR and change it to AN. So now will become participan. Ustedes participan. Try to say it. Ustedes participan. Tomar. Get rid of the AR. I'm gonna conjugate it for ellos. So the table said that I switch it to AN. So now it's toman. Ellos toman. Enseñar. To teach. That was from vocabulary list 2, either A or B, I can't remember. Enseñar, to teach. So we're gonna conjugate it for nosotros. What does the table say? That you change it to amos, right? So nosotros enseñamos. Limpiar. You have to conjugate it for tú. So you get rid of the AR and what do? I'm sorry, you have to add an S, right? It has to end in an S. So limpias. Tú limpias, okay? Estudiar. For él. Él is he. So él, it has to end in A. So you just get rid of the R there. Estudia. So these two, I will say, if it ends in, if the word, like when you get rid of the R, ends in A already, you don't have to do anything. You just get rid of the R and you have the A that you need there. Okay, because that's what the table say, that it has to end in A. I'm sorry, in AS, limpias, but I'm thinking about the A. So if it's already there, you just add the S, and in this case, for L, it has to end in A, so you just get rid of the R, él estudia, okay? And we can look at more examples like this so that you guys know what I'm saying. Okay, so now we're gonna do page 78, 78. I should say all these numbers and letters in Spanish to help you practice. Página, page 78, 78, examples A y B. So you are going to just write the correct answer, go back if you need to review the section to complete that exercise. And then for exercise ejercicio B, you are going to complete the table. You can do that too. So pause the video, work on ejercicios A y B on page 78, and then come back here, please. Okay, homework assignment for this lesson. You are going to write words, as I said, 1 through 10 from vocab list 3A, 4 times each, and you are also going to do exercise ejercicio C on page 78 and 79, okay? And there, you are going to practice conjugating those verbs given there: caminar, presentar, planchar, organizar, invitar, for those pronouns given there. So notice that some of these verbs, you don't have them on your vocabulary list. That's okay. If they end in AR, you can do it, okay? Following the rules. And you can also try to see what they mean and write it here so that you know and you keep adding more words to your vocabulary, okay? Okay, so that was it for lesson 30. Nos vemos in the next video.